The Independent Commission for Infrastructure has partnered with key institutions to strengthen its probe into anomalous flood control projects nationwide. ICI Chairperson former Justice Andres Reyes Jr. led the signing of a memorandum of agreement with the Philippine National Police, Integrated Bar of the Philippines, Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers, and the Mayors for Good Governance. IBP said the partnership underscores the institution's shared commitment to accountability, transparency, and quality public service. Now, Reyes welcomed the collaboration, saying it will reinforce the ICI's mandate to uncover the truth behind corruption allegations in flood control projects. And now, to talk more about this partnership, we have on the show IBP National President Atty. Allan Panolong. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Matters.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Gretchen Ho, and thank you for having us here in your show.
So, Attorney, tell us more about this partnership between IBP and the ICI. What kind of working relationship will you establish? Is it primarily for this flood control probe, or will this be a working relationship moving forward towards other infrastructure investigations?
Basically, the memorandum of agreement between the Independent Commission of Infrastructure and the Integrated Bar of the Philippines is to come up with a collaborative and cooperation efforts designed to work on investigating the anomalous activities involving government-funded infrastructure projects. So we are limiting to that to the government infrastructure projects like what we are facing right now, the controversy on the ghost flood control projects.
And ibig sabihin po ng partnership na ito, you'll be giving your services pro bono? Ganun po ba yun?
Opo. Ang ating pong mga abogado, no, sa katunayan nga, Ms. Gretchen, since we launched that request or appeal to our members to volunteer their pro bono legal aid services, we have already received around 1,000 volunteer lawyers across the nation.
Oh, that's great to hear. I am aware, because my brother is a lawyer, that meron ng bagong requirement ngayon sa batas, no, na dapat merong pro bono work. Am I correct?
Yes, ito pa yung Unified Legal Aid Service, kung saan the covered lawyer will have to render a mandatory 60 hours of pro bono legal aid service within a period of 3 years. So kinakailangan po yun dahil kung hindi po ma-accomplish ng isang lawyer yan, ay pwede pong magkaroon siya ng penalty under that new policy.
Oh, so 3 years only, and then after nun, okay ka na? This is not a recurring thing every single year.
This is a mandatory 60 hours pro bono legal service to be accomplished within 3 years. Now, after which, meron din po tayong tinatawag na yung pro bono legal aid service that the IBP is actually doing since time immemorial, since its establishment. So, this is separate and distinct and separate from that of the Unified Legal Aid Service. So, yung isa po is mandatory, since there is a policy for that, and the other one is that is a recurring activity of the IBP even prior to that of the new requirement under the law.
Of course, the interest here is very encouraging. More than 1,000 volunteers willing to dedicate their time. So off the bat, what cases are you already seeing here with the hearings in both houses of Congress? Sa mga naisiwalat, meron na po bang pwedeng ma-file sa ngayon na solid na case?
I understand there are so many cases already being considered for filing. No? One could be a possible case of plunder, no? Kasi any government official or person or in conspiracy with a private individual benefited from any government contract involving an amount of or an aggregate amount of or a total amount of 50 million pesos. And apparently, as we listen carefully to the investigations being conducted in the House of Representatives and the Senate, the amount involved is even greater than 50 million pesos. So,
Parang maliit na nga po yung 50 million.
yun na nga po eh. Kasi we are talking about billions of pesos, which really worried us, the IBP, no? That in fact, Ms. Gretchen, before the ICI was formally announced by the President, we already have came out with our own initiative in the IBP where we formed that Good Government Council. The purpose of which is actually to conduct a parallel investigation relative to these cases of anomalous transactions involving government infrastructure projects. So nag-form po tayo ng council niyan, and we're very happy that the ICI reached out to us and they wanted to have a working relationship since we have a singular mission, which is to hold accountable
That's correct.
any persons, yes, any persons responsible for squandering the government funds. So we cannot really forgive them.
O, bukod po sa plunder, ano pa po yung mga cases na nakikita nyo? Is this
Marami
the
po.
highest case that can be charged against you, given how egregious the crimes have been and how systemic? Ito lang po yung pinakamabigat na pwedeng maikaso sa kanila.
Opo, because the plunder carries a penalty of reclusion perpetua to death. So this is the appropriate crime where we can charge those persons responsible. But marami pong pwedeng ikaso din naman those below 50 million, like a possible case of RA 3019 or violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, cases of falsification of public documents, because we learned yesterday that from the statement of our esteemed Secretary of Department of Public Works and Highways that there was these cases of tampering or destruction of evidence. So pwede pong mahulog yun sa falsification. So these are the cases that the ICI could possibly consider in filing against the perpetrators. Not to mention that the ICI also can actually recommend for filing, of course, number one, yung administrative. Meron na pong tinanggal yung ating Secretary of the DPWH, no? Yun yung una niyang ginawa, yung administrative action. Then pangalawa po is yung civil. They can run after the illegally obtained wealth out of that anomalous transactions.
Which was the subject of debate yesterday, yung restitution. Pero mamaya, pag-uusapan ko, tapusin ko muna itong train of thought na ito. Malamang kasama rin po dyan yung anti-money laundering.
Yes.
Violation of that act.
Mga ancillary remedies, no? Kasi the freezing of the accounts of the persons, suspected persons involved in this scam, yun yung immediate remedy in preparation for filing of cases. So kailangan ma-freeze yung accounts para hindi po siya ma-withdraw.
Okay, I want to go to some of the statements of the witnesses or resource persons over at the Senate. It seemed to me that they were very careful with the way they answered these questions. For one, Bryce Hernandez kept saying, sumunod lang ako sa inuutos sa akin. Wala pong akong ginawa na hindi alam ng boss ko. Pag ganun po, anong level of culpability on the part of Bryce Hernandez, knowing that there is higher authority above him? And what if, kasi ito naman ang sinasabi ni Engineer Alcantara, na hindi ko alam yung mga ghost. Sinabi ko, hindi niya daw sinabi na gawing ghost yung mga proyekto. Kumbaga parang diskarte yun daw nung dalawa na si Bryce Hernandez at saka si JP Mendoza. Ano po nakikita niyo doon?
These resource persons, no, itong mga former government officials are very careful in disclosing their actual participation in the transactions because, for one, it will incriminate them. So please take note that when they took the witness stand, they took their oath, no? Merong oath po yan. So anything that they would say before the Congress will be, if it's against their own interests. So it might be used against their own interests. So, well, base po sa aking observation, they wanted to shield themselves from a higher accountability. But the thing is, the scandal cannot be perpetrated by one official or one person alone. It is some sort of a syndicate, a group, para po may conspiracy. So, in government transactions, hindi naman po na-aprobahan yung isang kontrata kung isang tao lang po yung pipirma or mag-a-approve niyan. So it will involve so many people.
Pero kung sakasakali ho,
it will be the same.
pag sinabi po ni Bryce Hernandez na ako'y sumunod lamang sa utos ng boss ko, even though hundreds of millions were siphoned through them, siya ba ay may pwedeng kasuhan ng plunder?
Yes, definitely. It will not exculpate by mere claiming that it was upon the instruction of his superior. No, will not exculpate them because because in the first place, as a government officer, in the discharge of his or her function, he has to consider the existing policies within the office. So ang dami pong alam mo, napakahirap maging isang gobyerno. Miss Gretchen, dati rin po akong government employee, at ang dami pong in processing a particular transaction, ang dami pong dapat obserbahan. So he cannot simply claim that it was through an instruction by his superior, because he also enjoys that
the benefits of that system. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
because he can actually inform his superior that, sir, this is against the law. Pwede naman sabihin yun eh.
And it was noteworthy also yung debate niya with Senator Raffy Tulfo when he said naglalaro lang talaga siya sa casino, and I guess he's very careful around getting a money laundering case, implicating himself in that. But and with that, do you think they're still qualified to be state witnesses? I mean, what level of course, we ideally gusto po natin na maging makatotohanan po sila. Pero we should remember that this is also legislative floor. It is not, they're not testifying in our courts yet, right?
Yes.
So paano po kaya yun, yung balance na ganon? Sila po ba ay qualified to be state witness?
Meron pong sa batas po natin, in order for a witness to be qualified as a state witness, meron pong requirements na kinakailangan. Unang-una, the person or the witness seeking to be accepted as a state witness should pass the criteria. Unang-una, least guilty yung witness na yun, and that he or she is testifying for a grave felony, which is plunder. Kung plunder ang ikakaso is a grave felony because it carries a penalty of reclusion perpetua to death. And then third, his testimony is the only available evidence, no? Then it can be corroborated with material points. So para po sa akin, nakikita ko na kung siya lang po talaga yung available witness, he may. But the problem is that he is actually one of the big actors in the scandal. So he cannot be considered as at least guilty. No? Kasi
Referring to Bryce Hernandez?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and this is actually, Miss Gretchen, it will depend also on how the Department of Justice, because eventually it is the Department of Justice
who will decide.
Yes. So if they see that in order to prosecute properly the case, then pwede nilang tanggapin. No?
But the witness protection program, to whom is that accorded? To all witnesses, regardless if you're a state witness or not?
Actually, the witness should apply in order for a witness to be considered or to be accepted under the program. So not all witness may be eligible. No? Kailangan mo pong mag-apply yan. So even in an ordinary case, for instance, where the life of a person is being threatened or under threat, then pwede po siya mag-apply sa witness protection program. So it is not only limited to the current cases being investigated by the Congress.
Okay. With the issue of restitution that was debated on by the DOJ Secretary, pati na rin si Senator Marcoleta, ano po ang inyong palagay doon? Maaari po ba na, tama po ba si Secretary na sinabi niya na they have the freedom to interpret the spirit of the law when it comes to this, even if hindi po naka-state explicitly na dapat ibalik yung mga ninakaw?
Para po sa akin, tama po si Secretary Rimulya on that particular aspect because unang-una, nag-a-apply ka to be accepted or admitted as a state witness. And pangalawa, there were admissions about the commission of the offense. Diba? Remember, may mga admissions sila na may mga tinanggap silang bribes or kickbacks. So in effect, they benefited from the transaction. So if they want to show really their sincerity in helping the government prosecute the cases, then they have to return whatever ill-gotten wealth that they receive out of the transactions. And another thing is that I agree with the Secretary Rimulya because the DOJ has this administrative rulemaking power to prescribe the rules in implementing the witness protection program. So it may be, yes, it may be. Nasa batas po yan eh. It may be, they may include that as an additional requirement to really ensure that the witness is sincere and helping the government. And besides, it has basis under the law. Marami pong interplaying principles na involved dito. Number one is the principle of unjust enrichment. Kung tumanggap ka ng benepisyo o pera o kayamanan na hindi naman talaga nararapat na tanggapin yun dahil bawal yun, illegal yun, tulad ng itong nangyaring skandalong ito, nararapat lamang po na isauli mo yun. So may basihan naman po yun eh.
As a sign of good faith nga, parang to convince the DOJ to decide in favor of your application. Okay, finally, I would want to ask about the senators involved here. As we know, they are no old-timers to charges of corruption and plunder. For one, Senator Jinggoy Estrada was acquitted of plunder but convicted of bribery in January 2024. But 7 months later, the Sandigan Bayan turns around and grants his appeal. Does this mean that his conviction is effectively extinguished? And he has been jailed twice already. First in 2001 for the plunder case with his father, and in 2014 for the PDAF scam. How should we view these curious coincidences?
Well, if the court has really cleared Senator Jinggoy, then it is really a closure of the cases being lodged against him. No, the acquittal would mean failure on the part of the prosecution to establish his guilt beyond reasonable doubt. So, meaning to say, it is as if he was not formally charged. So, in the other cases, I cannot really give my own opinion on this because the investigation is still ongoing and
correct.
I think there are more revealing evidence or circumstances that would be uncovered.
Kasi attorney, yung mahirap po kasi dito, yung direct transaction, usually hindi po nangyayari yan. Usually may mga middlemen. Like for example, with Senator Bong Revilla, yung chief of staff niya yung na-convict. With the case of Senator Joel Villanueva, hindi siya yung direktang kumakausap at sabi pa na hindi naman niya alam na sa flood control kinuha. Does that exonerate him? And what will be the challenge here for the IBP to establish plunder cases?
Well,
leading to the higher-ups.
Even if the public officer let's say a hypothetical case without necessarily referring to the cases of the circumstances alluded to the three senators, no? Two senators and one former senator. Well, pwede naman gamitin dito yung circumstantial evidence, no? When these circumstances, when put it together, it points or it gives to a good picture, which is a criminal culpability of committing the crime. So pwede naman po yun. So yun nga lang is the burden is on the prosecution because alam nyo po, Ms. Gretchen, is yung burden of proof talagang kailangan nasa shoulder po yun ng prosecution. So kailangan attention ng matibay na ebidensya, no? Although the evidence may not directly point to the persons being complained for appropriate criminal charges, but as I said, kung the pieces of evidence, no, the circumstances will point to him or her, so pwede siyang ma-convict pa rin doon. So yun nga lang, divided, even the legal community is divided on this because there are many saying that well, it's hearsay. So hearsay is not admissible in evidence. So it will again depend on the appreciation of the court.
Dito po sa kaso ni Senator Jinggoy, ang sabi po ng korte that the court said the criminal intent was absent. So obviously there is a lot of work to do here for the IBP to be able to establish to exact real accountability here. Bilang panghuli, saan po kayo papasok dito? When will this working relationship start? And what are the gaps that you are hoping to fill in here for the ICI?
Yes. So since the ICI is the independent body tasked to conduct the investigation and prosecution of these cases, so we come in as a complement, no? So kung ano po yung kakulangan nila na gusto nilang masama kami because we'll be waiting for their instruction. So that's where we come in. But in our memorandum of agreement, we agreed that we will establish anti-corruption help desk throughout the country. So, Ms. Gretchen, we have around 84 chapters across the country. So we will be setting up anti-corruption help desk wherein we will assist to receive complaints, no, coming from our citizens involving any anomalous government infrastructure projects within that area. So pangalawa is that we might be assisting the ICI to draft criminal, civil, and administrative complaints against those persons responsible with those in committing those crimes, no, alleged crimes. And then finally, we will be also assisting them in some sort of a in the information and all the initiatives that the ICI will develop. So we are actually basing on the MOA. The ICI treats us as an indispensable partner, no? Kasi we understand the ICI has just been created a few days ago. And wala pa po siyang manpower talaga.
Correct.
So we'll be carrying a huge responsibilities also.
And providing the muscle to the ICI. We hope we get to justice fast and expeditiously. Maraming salamat for joining us this morning. And congratulations on the partnership. We look forward to the results and to the work that is about to come. Maraming salamat. We have IBP National President Atty. Allan Panolong.
Maraming salamat po.